Now, when we talk about 20 attacks so powerful that should be banned, you may be thinking that, wait a second, banned? Do you mean like in games in general? Do you mean like in the anime in general? Do you mean the manga in general? But I came to this article after when I was I've been researching and looking at these Pokemon competitions around the world, and I said to myself that what, because these competitions, these official or unofficial or friendly competitions, like the people at either if it's Nintendo or Game Freak, they put these these conditions of not using certain powerful Pokemon or using certain items or certain certain things to make sure that the competitions are fair play. And this is when I came to this article. Now, I'm not here to just bash this article from left, right, and center, or because it says 20 attacks so powerful that they had to be banned. But I came to this article here for the fact that it was talking about attacks so powerful that it should be banned. And as soon as I came here, I said to myself, wait, like I said in the like what I said in the beginning of the video. Wait a second. You mean like games or anime, or what are you talking about? So then I said to myself, okay, you know what? Let's check this out. Let's check here what this writer of this article is trying to say. And before that we scroll down, this is not a way of bashing out the writer or throwing in the writer. Obviously, this is people's opinion. This is people's trying to bring up their views on certain things, on if it's right for them. And I think something like articles like this, we should be aware of the fact that these are people's opinions, and we should respect people's opinions. And that's what makes things go around these days. And that's why we have banter. That's why people agree to disagree. But on the fair note is that this is when people have to come together and say, you know what, I respect your opinion, but you have to also respect my opinion. And let me tell you something. In this article, I respect this guy's opinion. Now, in this article, this guy called Joseph Walter, I researched him. He seemed to be, I heard that actually he's a professional actor, but at the same time, he does writing of Dragon Ball, which me and this small team of Uthtube are a fan of. If you have seen some of our videos or seen my videos in the SGZ, and Final Fantasy and etc. So now let's scroll down. Now this is no way of saying that okay, this is like removing anything like, oh, this is going to be debunked or half debunked, but let's just see what this guy says. And I want you guys here to bring your opinion in the comment section below on why you think, or if these attacks should be banned in competitions. Yeah, competitions. So let's get right into it. Now, okay, I read this part. Now, this is when I knew that, I was looking at an article that spoke about that spoke about competitions. That's why I came to this article. And it did say battling with other real life trainers are always part of a Pokemon equations. We all know that. Obviously back in the day when you had Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal. You had the Game Boy Color, and you had And over there you had, you had the Game Boy, link cable. Oh yeah, actually, you said it right there, the Game Boy link cable. And you used to battle. And over that, even these days, you're in competitions that you have, you can battle through wireless. And also you go to these real life competitions where people actually rounds to quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals, and everything. From there, these people's these people who win it get big prizes. And you can see right here that he says that but was it balanced? He's saying about in terms of immerse and fun. He says absolutely not even the slightest. Now he's talking about the attacks. He's talking about if it was if the attacks, or if the competitions of these attacks were actually fair. Now I remember back in my day, or back in the day, let's say, for me, when I used to face my friends, when I used to face family members, me, surprisingly, I wasn't that kind of person who used legendary Pokemon or used powerful attacks. I'll be that kind of person that'll bring up my real team that I'm used to. And also what you do is that you will end up using strategies, using tactics to make sure that you will defeat the opponent as quickly as possible, because you don't know what the opponent has. You don't know if the opponent has that has moves that can remove your Pokemon if you're doing certain moves that's to decrease the accuracy of the certain opponent, or to increase the attack of the opponent. You just don't know. So that is what I'm talking about, and that's what and that is the good thing about the competitions. He said that despite having multiplayer competition in the series' very DNA, the Pokemon franchise balance is predominantly focused on single player experience, meaning that no one on the development team has really considered the potential of fair competition in real life trainer to trainer battles whenever it is between friends or part of the official tournament. Now, okay then, he is kind of right, because obviously Pokemon is a single player experience. That is until that you start facing people in competitions, all these real life events. That's why I came to this article in the first place. Okay, now, he says that while official or non-official tournaments have been trying to deal with issues by banning certain moves or combinations since the advent of competition, it's great to see that the actual maker of the game dives right in and start banning moves for online play and then official tournaments too. Now this is what I've been saying before, that that the people, the developers that are trying to do certain things to make sure that actually is in those barriers of look, we want to make sure that it's fair, not just for the first player, but for the second player, the third player, the fourth player. So that's what it is. And this is why that people go to these competitions to have fun, basically. Anyway, now let's get right into it, because he's talking about extremely powerful and and exploitable moves and combinations that have slipped through the cracks, and that's what we're going to address today. Now, these moves that I'm going to show you now, I think that depends on your views. If you think if these attacks should be banned. Now, number 20, Hyper Beam. We all know that Hyper Beam is a Generation 1 move. And when I think about Hyper Beam, I'm doing this out of my experience. That's if I was facing someone with Hyper Beam, what would you do? Now, Hyper Beam, it is very, very difficult to say, because I'm not going to sit here and say, no, Hyper Beam shouldn't be. For example, if you were to put, those kind of tournaments that only say, I don't know if this is actually for real, but if, for example, if you bring up a level 75 Pokemon over to bring it into a competition, I don't know if it's only in the games, but when you bring up a Pokemon that's level 75, when you put them in the tournament, they'll shrink down the level to level 50, and then the Pokemon who was level 75 already has hyper beam. So then when they shrink the level down to level 50 to make that, to make that, that kind of fair to other people, hyper beam is still there. So hyper beam is still powerful. But you know what? I leave that to you, people in the comment section below. What do you think about hyper beam? Because hyper beam, to me, it's very difficult to say. Even I've been saying this like a few times. It's very difficult to say. I mean, the only thing that I would say is that the hyper beam, the only good thing about hyper beam is that, after the move, it gets a rest if it charges, because obviously it used all its might for that powerful move. But rather than that, it's like, okay, because he says that he said that they should consider removing it from competition in order to better protect fair play. Actually, Happy Beam should not be banned, and I tell you why. Because every type has a decent hit move and powerful move, and don't forget that these powerful moves have less power points, so attacks won't happen every time in battle, like Tackle and Scratch, which also have power points of 35. But we think of more powerful moves like Takedown and Slash, they also have power points of 20. So no, I think Happy Beam should not be banned. Now, the next one here is minimize. Now, minimize is, everybody know what minimize is. Minimize here is, if you've seen it in the games, that when they use the move, it shrinks the Pokemon into like, I'll say like a bug, and it shrinks it back out. But we all know what minimize does. Minimize raises the evasion stats by 1 stage for the user. So it makes it difficult for the opponent to attack. He says that some fans have suggested multiple solutions on fixing the minimize problem, and it's hardly the worst offender of evasion enhancing moves. Now, I think for me, I will say that, Pokemon tournaments and official tournaments should, when they go to these competitions, it's not all about powerful moves. It's not all about improving accuracy. It's not just about that, but it's for you to be tactical. It's for you to be like, it's prestigious. Have a strategy. Have a strategy. Like, for example, like for me, if somebody use something like minimize, if someone were to use minimize, I will use a move here like Aero Ace, because Aero Ace always hit. Aero Ace will always hit, no matter what Pokemon's out, except for things substitute. And obviously substitute, there's a problem there, but Aero Ace always hit. Now that is one of the solutions. I think he may be right. I wouldn't know if people hate minimize. I don't know. People may be wrong. People people may be right. Probably some fans have said that minimize is probably too much. It's probably is, but we don't know. But what I would say is that you have to use some kind of strategy, some kind of tactics to make sure, like, for example, if the opponent use a certain move, like for example minimize, what do? You should just say, okay, you know what, I have a Pokemon in my team that who can deal with this move. You switch it and then you bring it back out. But the thing about it is that if a Pokemon, like for example, I'm not saying that this type here has, like, this type of Pokemon does this move like minimize. Like for example, if a rock type that's minimized, I'm not saying that Dude or No Pass, have these kind of have minimizing their in their when they're learning, assuming that Dude have minimized, like Aero Ace won't be the solution, because obviously flying type attacks are useless against rock types. Now this is when they end up doing your research to make sure that next time, or probably I should have this attack in case that a certain Pokemon like a certain Pokemon like Clefairy and Clefable does minimize. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Me, I'm looking at it as like me being in the competition kind of view there. Now, substitute. Oh my gosh. Now, what I know about substitute is the fact that, it's a little bit like protect, but obviously it has its side effects. Obviously, when you put substitute out, it reduces some of the hit points, so that it reduces like 25%, and obviously but substitute is the fact that, or like when I say about being something like protect, it's the fact that that substitute will come out and all of a sudden the Pokemon start hitting it, and then it's still going to be there. I know that there are some moments where like when you substitute and someone does a powerful move, substitute disappears. I don't know if it's depending on turns, but I've seen that before. It may just be me thinking, thinking that way, but this is what makes Pokemon competitions and the game experience here, fun and quite broad. Obviously, substitutes here can be a good thing. It can be a good thing, but as I said before, that if I was in a competition and someone used substitutes, I will become frustrated. Obviously, I will become frustrated because every time you hit this substitute, it doesn't go, and I think that's why someone like the guy who written this article saying that substitute should be out. I understand that, but I think at times when you use powerful moves, substitute will just go. I think that's what it is. Now, outrage. Now, outrage is one of my favorite moves in the Pokemon in the Pokemon industry. Outrage. Obviously, if anybody here have watched Gilbert's Pokemon Adventures, Gilbert's immensely powerful Charizard Gilly knows outrage. So that's one evident to know that's one of my favorite moves and one of the most powerful moves in the game. But when someone uses outrage in tournaments, as usual, it comes down to what Pokemon trainer are you in the competition? What kind of Pokemon trainer are you? Like, for example, if you know that if this opponent has Dragonite, you know that Dragonite may have an Ice move, Dragon move, Electric move, Fire move, even Hyper Beam. You just don't know. That's when I come and say that, if you're in a competition, you have to have a tactic. You have to have a strategy to make sure that if a Dragonite comes out, you say to yourself, I have to make sure that that I defeat the Dragonite as soon as possible. Do I have an Ice Pokemon? Do I have a movie that can hit Dragonite before there's outrage, or do any move here before I do, or do any movie to make sure that I defeated you before it defeats me? Outrage is a powerful move. Don't forget that outrage, after a few turns, either 2 or 3 turns, it does get confused. And he says here that back in Generation 1, obviously there were no fairy types at the time to counter dragons, obviously because of balance. You see, and then you talk about the best bet was Ice type Pokemon, which was Articuno, but even an outrage was a brute attack to survive, let alone a counter. Yeah, it is a powerful move. I'm not going to deny that. It is a powerful move. But at the same time, as a Pokemon trainer or somebody who is in the competition, in any Pokemon competition really, that that if you're going into competitions like that, you have already stepped foot into saying to yourself, I'm into that place where I have to defeat any Pokemon that comes in front of me, and that's the case. But don't forget that Generation 1 did have some balancing issues back in those days, but now you can tell that the developers are trying to fix up the balancing issue, like Fairy, for example. And other than that, around Generation 3, you can tell that Dragon moves can be super effective against Dragon. So, So that's cleared out of the way. Now the next one is Mega Hoenn. Now Mega Hoenn, I looked at Mega Hoenn, and Mega Hoenn is a powerful attack. I'm not gonna deny. I don't know much about Mega Hoenn because obviously, I haven't used it as much. But he did say that this move is a overpowered move. He did say it somewhere, yeah. Especially when they're armed with overpowered technique. He says that when you think of bug type Pokemon, the first thought are likely to be like Caterpie, Modipede and Butterfree. And he's saying that if you were to use Mega Hoenn against any other dark type, they're going to faint straight away. And as I said before, that balance here has to be there. And you can tell that the people at Game Freak or Nintendo or whoever doing the developing in Pokemon, obviously they're trying their best to make sure that fair play comes in. And if Mega Hoenn is that powerful, then probably that's when it comes in, like as I said before, like Hyper Beam, that that you should make sure that that you have a strategy to defeat that certain Pokemon. Like for example, you use let a Pokemon use Quick Claw to be the first one to attack. To defeat Heracross before it does Mega Hoenn. Even Mega Hoenn is even the signature, actually was the signature move of Heracross. So I mean, like, if it's a overpowered move, then as a person, as a participant of the competition, you gotta make sure that you defeat Heracross no matter what. I mean, as I said, it comes to tactic and strategy. Close combat, same thing. And he says somewhere that he said that if you have lethal attack stats and you had high speed stats, close combat would defeat any Pokemon. But the thing is that close combat is an all-out attack. And when you do this attack, your defense and special defense stats lower by 1 stage each. So that's the side effect. But in the competition or in any other tournament, if you're facing against a Pokemon who has that attack, it's your responsibility to have a strategy, to have a tactic if you are participating in those competitions or those tournaments. And you should have those items like Focus Band. Because Focus Band is like the ability Sturdy. If your Pokemon is weak and still you're someone that's an all-out attack, you won't faint straight away. You still handle it. It's like one of those things that when you have high friendship in the newer game these days. You still hang on. So that is the participant responsibility to make sure that they are equipped tactically with strategy and items and ability. But he's right in some cases on this part of the article that actually there's a fine line between reasonably tactical and ridiculously useful. And he's right that it's also a blistering overpowered move. But I will say that every move, either it's water, fire, grass, electric, dark, ghost, ice, dragon, fairy, whatever you call it, every move has a powerful attack. Every move has a powerful attack. Look at fire type move. Fire type move have blast burn. You know what I mean? So, and knowing that after blast burn, what happens? The Pokemon have a rest, isn't it? So, these things you have to take into account. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there should be balance, in any of these attacks, but at the same time, you shouldn't go into a competition and say that, oh, it's just going to be about powerful attacks and defense and then evasion. You need to go. These Pokemon and people who go to these competitions, they go in there with plan A, plan B, plan C. They don't just go in there and say, okay, I'm just going to use Hyper Beam, Blast Burn, and Frazzy Plant, Hyper Beam all the way through the competition. Like, it's not gonna work that way. It's not gonna work that way. Now, Steel Leaf Rock to me, this one, I don't know why this is in the list anyway, to be honest, because this one to me is like Curse. Now, Curse to me, obviously the bad thing about Curse is the fact that obviously, the Pokemon has to take some of its life to give, to make sure that the opponent, is affected by to be affected by by the nightmare. But Steel Leaf Rock, my gosh, this one, this move is one of the moves that you would use in terms of tactics. You would use Steel Leaf Rock because in that way, when any Pokemon comes out of the opponent, like if it brings out like a Charizard or Typhlosion or Blaziken or a Greninja or any Pokemon that comes out here of the opponent, as soon as it steps on the Steel Leaf Rock, some of its HP or hit points start to decrease. This is part of the tactics. It's part of the tactics method. So I don't understand why Steel Leaf Rock is even in the it's even in this list. It's part of the tactics model. You know what I mean? Like Like you will use this so that it's scattered around the team. That's what it says it when you use it. And then after when the opponent bring out a Pokemon, like its HP starts to decrease every Pokemon that he brings out. Steel Leaf Rock doesn't happen at every move. No, not like Curse, but the opponent's hit points start to decrease when you bring them out. You see, look, he says that this move is reliable. So. And now Soft Boiled. Soft Boiled is something like recovery, and then not even that here. It restores up to 50% of the user's maximum HP, and I tell you what, man. Soft Boiled is the signature Pokemon of Chansey and Blessey, if I believe if that is true, and if that's the case, because I know for sure that Chansey and Blessey, their HP is so gigantic. I remember once I had a Chansey or Blessey, I forgot what game it was. Either it was Fire Red or Crystal, I forgot. I'm pretty much sure that it might have been Fire Red. Just using it just for just to see basically. And I remember the HP it had. So I can imagine Soft Boiled being an utter pain here for people, but everybody knows that that Chansey's defense is it's low, but the special defense is what the problem is. Definitely what it is the problem. And other than that, he even spelled Blessey wrong. It's meant to be an E there. But anyway, yeah, it can be a problem. For special defense, especially when Soft Boiled is happening, that could be a problem. But you know what? Soft Boiled is very, very useful. I remember one time when I used Chansey a bit in my team in Fire Red. It was very, very good because then that way, I think that's the reason why the Chansey has a huge HP. It's because of Soft Boiled. So then that way, if your Pokemon is injured or got low HP, Chansey can help out. And we all know Chansey's importance in games and the anime and manga is because it's Nurse Joy assistant. And think about it here. If we were to remove Soft Boiled, then that means that we have to remove moves banned moves here like Recover and Milk Tank's former signature move, Milk Drink. So I will say, yeah, that in some cases Chansey is useful, and me, I wouldn't ban soft boiled. I wouldn't ban it. I wouldn't ban it at all. But it is, it is what it is, man. With soft boiled, I mean, let me tell you something, man. I mean, if you guys in the comment section below, if you put your view and think soft boiled is a problem, then probably soft boiled is probably a problem. But to me, as I said, I've been saying this many times in this video. It comes with tactic and strategy, as I said before. I mean, anybody who goes into these competitions, yeah, they have to be ready for anything. That's what I would say. Now, double team is one of my favorite moves, and then again, as I said before, that aerial ace. Now, I think double team is a TM. Double team is a TM, and and it also increases the invasion by one stage, and and moves like this it's something like minimize. It's going to be a tactical move anyway, a tactical move. So as I said before, yeah, that this here shouldn't be in the list. This shouldn't be in the list. If someone use double team, what do? You got, as I said, you got to be ready for anything if you go to these competitions. And if somebody use double team at you, and you haven't got a move that can, every time you use the attack and then you keep on missing, then you gotta make sure that there is luck in your hand. Now high jump kick, it's like hyper beam. Obviously, yeah, the accuracy of high jump kick here is like, I think it's 90%. I'm not really sure. I think it's 90%. And also I think it was one of the signature moves here of Hitmonlee. And yes, it's a powerful move, but at the same time, as I said, that if you're in competitions or you're battling with your friend, it's your responsibility to make sure that high jump kick doesn't hit you. Some people who are really good with really good with with these Pokemon and strategies like IVs and that, or EVs and that here, they always make sure that they have something on them. Like for example, if Hitmonlee comes out, they're like, I know what move to use. There'll be some cases here where you may not have a move. Then you have to make sure that then that way you'll be lucky if high jump kick misses, and and then the side effect comes in where it misses it and keep on crashing, and that's when it hurt itself. So high jump kick, I wouldn't say that should be banned. Yeah, this move here, it's boiling water. Wow. This is like water gun or something like. It's like water gun, bubble beam. Hydro pump. Like what this guy is saying. I'm like, hello. Come on. This to be banned. Come on. Raw of time. Well, I can guarantee that, first of all, Dalga, I swear Dalga is banned in most competitions, so I don't understand why Raw of Time's even in here. But if it's not banned in some competitions, then defo it needs to be. It will always recharge no matter what. So you just have to make sure. Yeah, as I said, when you go to these competitions, you just have to make sure that you're equipped no matter what, or have a Pokemon that can remove or defeat Dalga. But most competitions, or I tell you, I don't know. I don't know if it's all competitions, but what I've known, all competitions, Dalga, nah, man, Dalga is banned, isn't he? So Raw of Time should be even in the equation. Protect, Psychotic Substitute. Protect is what made things interesting when it comes to Pokemon battling. But Protect, you know, I mean, as I said, like, Protect is not like, Protect is like Substitute, but Substitute, you know, that depends on what Pokemon is out, what attacks that hits the Substitute, that hits the clone. Protect, you can't always use Protect all the time when you're battling. You can only use it once or twice, never the third one it fails, something like that. So, as I said, it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that you defeat the Pokemon whoever you Protect as soon as possible. Even, I'm not saying that it is easy. Obviously, when you go to these competitions, they are going to be very difficult Pokemon trainers, difficult people who knows Pokemon, that know what they're doing when it comes to battling. You know, and something like Steel of Rock and Hyper Beam and all of that. You're gonna see that. Thunderbolt. I don't understand why Thunderbolt is even in the list. I mean, why? I mean, is Thunderbolt overpowered? I mean, if it was Thunder, it would have been. If it was Thunder, it would have been understandable. Like, okay, I know why probably he would use Thunder, but Thunderbolt, yeah, is a, you know. That's a debate, really. That's actually a debate for people to talk about, because Thunderbolt, no, I don't think so. Thunderbolt, yeah, should be banned, because, you know, you got Flamethrower, you got Ice Beam, you even got Solar Beam. I mean, no, unless you have Sunny Day, Sunny Day on, then you can use Solar Beam as much as you want, depending on how many turns you got on Sunny Day. So, no. Hidden Power. Here we go. Hidden Power. Yeah, Hidden Power. I think it's different when it comes to unknowns or honor. I think it's different. And when it comes to Hidden Power with other Pokemon, I think depending on your environment that's here, you can change the Pokemon's attack into depending on what the environment is. Like, for example, if you're in a grass and use Hidden Power, it's gonna use a grass move. So, nah, that shouldn't be banned. Earthquake. Now, Earthquake, yes, he's right. It is a truly classic move. It's definitely in Generation 1. Now, yeah, would Earthquake be a, Earthquake? If someone did, look, if you have a Pokemon out like a fire type, like Blaziken or Typhlosion, or like an electric type, like Pikachu or Electabuzz, then you're gonna be unlucky. Unless you have like a flying type that can evade that. Or if you're lucky, if you're the first one to move it before the opponent, and then you switch it to like Golbat or any flying type, and then the opponent has Earthquake, you'll be lucky. Or like Protect, you'll be lucky. You know what I mean? So, that's another debate. But no, I don't think Earthquake should be banned. But you know what? That depends on what Pokemon you have out. You cannot say that, oh, that's not fair that he has Earthquake. But what about if you had Earthquake? That's the thing. You need, a powerful attacks and moves that have invasion and tactics and strategy need to be balanced. It's your responsibility as a person who's participating in that tournament that should balance your your moves and balance your Pokemon of what you use in that tournament. And these days there are lots of abilities out there meant to handle powerful attacks. Don't forget about the ability Sturdy. Or don't forget about there even a lot of items like Focus Band, another item that I mentioned previously. So, to handle powerful attacks and powerful super effective attacks for participants when they use their Pokemon in these competitions and tournaments. And remember those days when Ghastly will get hit by Earthquake, in Pokemon Red, Blue, the Japanese Green, Pokemon Gold, Silver and Crystal, till the abilities were introduced in Generation 3. And the developers, they gave Ghastly the ability Levitate, or because, probably because it's a ghost type, and it's floating. But it's until that Levitator is removed from Ghastly that Earthquake will hit Ghastly. So, so these things here, you have to take into account. You have to be very smart here with abilities, items, tactics, and strategy. Ice Beam. Oh my gosh. Ice Beam. I'm going to say, nope, Ice Beam should not be banned. It's like, it's like saying, as I said, it's like saying like Flamethrower or Razor Leaf, or Solar Beam should be banned. Ice Beam, you have these attacks here, all because that, look, I need Ice Beam in case I face a grass type. I need Ice Beam in case I face a dragon type. No! Ice Beam shouldn't be banned. If you have a potential of freezing, that is good. That is good for whoever did the move. No. That's like me saying that, okay, because Flamethrower is going to defeat a Sceptile, or it should be banned. Come on. Flamethrower, has a potential of the opponent to be burnt or to be burning. No. Toxic, same thing. Toxic is like curse, and like toxic is like curse. Stealth Rock, like what we saw above. Toxic is another strategy, and this is when the no. Yes, it's a lethal, overpowered Pokemon technique, but yes, look, I don't know what you think that was nerfed by developers. It just went on. It was enhanced. For those who have suffered the pain of Toxic, we'll briefly explain. The move does not damage its own, but it badly poisons the opponent. Yes, it's something like burning. It's something like when you're burning a Pokemon, or when a Pokemon is being paralyzed, or when a Pokemon is being frozen. Come on. Now we get to Recover. Now, Recover, I will never know why Recover is on this list of why it needs to be banned in certain competitions and in certain tournaments. But for me, Recover shouldn't be banned. Don't forget that Recover is not a TM. Recover is not a TM. And he says some way that Recover is more accessible to other Pokemon than Soft Boiled, which is actually exclusively to Chansey and Blessey. And the thing about it is that Recover is not accessible to every Pokemon. I think it's only accessible to Psychic type, I believe. And we have other Recover alike moves to other different type of Pokemon, like Soft Boiled, that what we said about Chansey, Milk Drink like Milk Tank, we have Slack Off, we have Hill Order, and we have Roost for flying type Pokemon. So I will never understand why Recover is even on this list. And if you want to ban Recover, then you have to ban all of the healing, recovering type moves. And the thing about it is that this comes to what kind of trainer or what kind of participant you are in, when you're battling with your mates, or when you are having friendly battle with your mates, or when you're in these competitions or tournaments. is dependent on what kind of trainer you are, basically. Because if you have tactics and strategy and the opponent is doing recover, with your tactic and strategy, if you know exactly what you're doing, you're more likely to win. You're more likely to win if you know exactly what you're doing. And I will never understand why recover is even in the list. I will never understand that, but he even said that recover offers nearly the exact benefit of softball. Yes, because they're both healing type moves. They're both healing type moves. And and at times it does make things more interesting in battle. But sometimes it may make things more frustrating. Even me, I wouldn't ban it, because someone here may say I have recover and you may have recover, or you might not have recover, or I might not have recover. But don't forget that it's depending on what trainer you are actually facing, what kind of participant you are facing. If the participant you have recover, in all of his team, if it shows it specifically in battle, then you have to have some kind of a plan. Like, you know what? Okay, then I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and see if I can use a super effective attack or a powerful attack against this opponent's Pokemon to make sure that it doesn't do recover all the time. Come on. It's all about, this sucks the fun out of battling, basically. Then what's the point of having healing items in games? What's the point of having healing items then? What's the point of having healing type moves? Even in some tournaments, they don't even allow you to have healing items, I believe. So that at times you have to rely on recover. You have to rely on that. And I may be wrong on that some tournaments won't allow you to use healing items. But I'm just making an example. Just imagine if they banned healing items, then you have recover. So then no, recover should not be banned. Softball should not be banned. Roost should not be banned. Milk drink should not be banned. Slack off should not be banned. So yeah, I wouldn't ban it. Anyway, and now we move to explosion. Now, he's right. Like back in the day, we didn't know the difference between self-destruct and explosion until now. That the fact that explosion is much more powerful than self-destruct. You can't use explosion every time. In battle. You can't use explosion every time. I think explosion's PP is way less. Something similar to hyper beam. And definitely, he says here, definitely, it's going to deliver a blow that's impossible to match. Yes, but this is when that we have something like these abilities. There are some abilities out there that that prevent explosions. There are even some items that you can use to make sure that if someone does explosion, you won't faint. The Pokemon won't faint. Even there's some Pokemon that have high defense. Use that. Obviously, explosion is not something that people will use. That's only if the opponent or you as the participant, that the Pokemon that you're facing has weak defense. Okay, then I might as well use explosion then. But it is a devastating move. I wouldn't ban it. To me, I wouldn't ban it. I wouldn't ban it at all. And he even said that your Pokemon will be sacrificed in the process, but it's totally worth it if it's time appropriate against the right out target. See, he even said it here. So then why is this number one? Why is this number one then? You said something really positive here, but yet you want to ban it. But you know what? Even to me, I wouldn't ban the explosion. I wouldn't ban it. I mean, as I said before so many times, or let's say I'm saying it now, that every type, every type here has like a decent hit move, a powerful move. You're gonna see everywhere. A grass type here may have absorb, mega drain, giga drain. You see, it goes here from low to mid range to higher range attacks. You have fire moves that you have like Ember. Then you have Flamethrower. Then you have Fire Blast. Then you have Blast Burn. Water. You have like Bubble, Water Gun, Bubble Beam. You know, it goes on to like Hydro Pump to Hydro Cannon. You have like Leaf. You have like, you know, like Absorb. You got like Razor Leaf. You got Magical Leaf. You got Solar Beam. You've even got Frenzy Plant. So, me, I wouldn't ban it at all. I wouldn't ban it. You know, like Earthquake, you got Earthquake, you have Magnitude. So you're a bit like, so then you're like in luck here if you have Magnitude of 10. So no, exactly like what I said about like Recover. You've got Synthesis for grass type Pokemon. That's one of them as well. Even I wouldn't ban that because that is exclusively here to grass type. Everything here is all exclusively here to what Pokemon you have. But as I said before, that this is all dependent on what Pokemon trainer you are. You know, would you have it? Would the opponent have it? And you know, as a gamer, you should be ready here for anything. As a Pokemon, enthusiast or whatever who goes here to go to the tournaments, you need to be ready here for anything. Obviously, this is why you have all this type of range of Pokemon, all this type of moves, because of people's preferences. That's why people here will have Lucario in their team. Even I had Lucario in my team. You know, so you know So then you have different type of move, different kind of Pokemon, different kind of item, different kind of abilities. Even as time and years goes on, there are gonna be more moves, more new abilities. You know, like me with Gilbert's Pokemon. Even I make new exclusive moves here to the series, new ability to the series. I would not even ban any of these moves. I wouldn't ban it. It's all dependent on people's preferences. It's all dependent on what Pokemon that opponent has, what Pokemon you like, what Pokemon that you would like to take on. You know, take on a board here in those tournaments or in those competitions. You know, so I wouldn't ban it. I mean, and also for like young people, you know, people who are just getting into Pokemon, you know, obviously they're gonna learn, they're going to know these things, and they're going to explore. They're gonna be like, look, you know what, Ember's not good for me. I'm gonna use Flamethrower, or I'm gonna use Flame Charge, because Flame Charge has benefits. Once you keep on hitting the Pokemon, the speed boosts. You know, the speed stat starts to boost. It starts to go up one level. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, Arco Jet goes first. Or like, you know, Item Quick Claw, it goes first. Or like, you know, when you're using Fire Blast, it's more likely that the opponent is gonna get burnt. Or like Blizzard, more likely that the opponent is gonna get frozen. Or like if you use Thunder Wave, paralyzed. You know, it's dependent on what opponent or what participant you are, and what tactics you use, and what strategy that you use. Obviously, some people may say that, you know, Pokemon is not about strategy and about tactics. you may be right. But some people, yeah, use Toxic, use Thunder Wave. You know, they use Willow Wasp. You know, to burn. You know, instead of like relying on Fire Blast all the time to burn someone, Willow Wasp will just burn the opponent straight away. Burn the opponent's Pokemon straight away. Anyways, but look, guys, I'm not here yet to just. I'm not here or in no way of no way, shape or form, bashing or fully debunking this. But I'm just stating facts from Pokemon and the resources that we have, and it's been brought out, for the past years. And obviously, guys, we have to notice that this is just his opinion, and as I said before in the beginning of the video, that we should respect that. And just assuming that these moves were banned, that means that many moves are gonna be banned. And that takes away what Pokemon battling is all about. That is why that they broke Fairy type to balance the books with Dragon type. Or like, look, if you have Mirror Move or Copycat against a Dragon type a Pokemon from Generation 3, you'll be lucky. Dragon Claw, you put Dragon Claw against me, okay then, I'll use Dragon Claw against you back. It's super effective. So it's good that they broke Fairy type. It's good that they're still fixing up this balancing issue. But if this is a problem to some fans of Pokemon, what they should do is go into a competition that bans powerful attacks, some evasion attacks. That is the only way. But to ban moves like Ice Beam, for example, nah. It's like, you have Icy Wind. No. Look, you have Icy Wind. Icy Wind is lower than Ice Beam. Icy Wind is weak. Someone is going to choose Ice Beam. Even I will choose Ice Beam for my Water type Pokemon if I have it, in my games, or if I have it in Gilbert's Pokemon Adventures. Or you have Blizzard, which is more powerful, or you have Z moves out there, which are much more powerful, and you only get to use it once, or if you're lucky, use it twice in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But there are some competitions out there that bans the move called what was it? Dragon Ascent. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong, but there are competitions that ban that move. And think about dragon moves. As I said before, Ice, Fairy, you even got Dragon types to go against Dragon. So, even as I said, even me, I wouldn't ban any of these moves at Screen Rant in this article. 20 attacks so powerful that had to be banned. Nah, I wouldn't ban this. I just want to point this out to any Pokemon fan or who like Pokemon, because all these moves he mentioned, as I said, I wouldn't ban them. But it depends on what competition or tournament you are in. That's it. Anyway, guys, let's stop right there. Thank you again for watching, this half debunk or debunked 20 attacks so powerful, that they had to be banned. And look, I don't mind if the writer Joseph Walter sees this, but as I've been saying, that if you ban these moves, that means that more moves similar to that, or mid-ranger like Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Razor Leaf, are going to be banned to balance the scale, the attack scale. Don't forget that every type has a decent hit attack and has a powerful attack. And don't forget that some moves here are more likely to have critical hits. So anyways, guys, take care of yourself, bless, peace, and I see you down the road.